Hello again. This is Douglas Pinkham of Pinkham and Associates. We are a dedicated family law firm here in Orange County, California. We also practice in Los Angeles, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties. So if you need any help, ultimately we certainly can help you. This video is going to be the declaration under Uniform Code, Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act. We call it a UCCJEA form. You will need this form anytime you're going to court for an issue about your children. If you're going in for custody, you're going to need it. If you're going in for a divorce and you have children and you're filling out the divorce paperwork, you're going to need this form. If you're going in for child support, you're going to need to fill out this form. So it basically is a very short, simple form that just introduces the children to the court. So let me go through that. Of course, up here at the top is your name, address, and telephone number in the top, in the header, just like it is in every other form. In this section here, you put the county in which you're filing, the address to the court, which you can find online without any question. Of course, then again, the petitioner's name goes here, respondent's name goes here. The petitioner and the respondent, again, like I say on every form, does not ever change. So if you're the petitioner in the divorce filing or the paternity filing, you are still the petitioner throughout the entire case. Then you put your case number here. If you were dealing with a guardianship, you'd put the child's name here, but that is relatively rare and probably not going to be seeking out my videos if you're doing a guardianship. These are typically for custody, visitation, child support, family law issues. Okay. So down here in the next section, number 2, my address is, or present address of each child residing with me is confidential under Family Code Section 3429. This box is only going to be marked if you are living in a shelter or you have a court order to keep your address from being publicly published. And, you know, that typically from domestic violence, those kinds of things. You will know if your address is allowed to be confidential. You can also look up Family Code Section 3429. It's not a difficult section to understand. You can Google it. Okay, next section, number 3. In this box here, you're going to want to put how many children that you have. And in this case, we only have one child with John Doe, and Jane Doe only have one child, Dolly Doe. And let's say Dolly Doe was born in Anaheim, California. She was born on April 29th, 1999. She's a female. All right, so present address, let's say that Dolly Doe has lived at this address for about 3 years, or well, let's say since birth. If there are more addresses, you need to list them all as you go down, and the dates to which the child lived at each of those addresses. Over here in this box, you put who the child lives with. Right now, let's say the child lives with mom, and let's say the child lives in the same address as mom does, which obviously makes sense. And over here we're going to put child lives with mother. If this were part of a divorce case and John Doe and Jane Doe were still living together, you could put mother and father in that box. Okay, very simple. That's just the address information for the child. Let's say there were 2 children. Let's say that we also had a child named Billy Doe. And Billy was also born in Anaheim, California. And we'd put his birth date here, and of course he's a male. Then up here, if we have 2 children in this box, we're going to put a 2. If we have 1 child, we're just going to put 1. In this case, we're going to have 2. So I'm putting a 2 in that box. There. All right. Let's say his birth date is June 9th, 2002. Oops. Okay, June 9th, 2002. If Billy Doe and Dolly Doe, both of the siblings, live with the same parent and have the same address information, then you would simply mark that box, and the court knows that all of the information above under Dolly Doe, all the information up here, hold on one second. All of the address information up here for Dolly Doe applies to Billy Doe. Okay, so then we go to the bottom. If there are more than 2 children, you are going to want to mark this box, C. If there are additional residences and you can't fit them under all 4 of these boxes, then you're going to need an additional form, and you can just attach even a lined piece of paper. You can put and just call it attachment C at the top and list all of the rest of the address information. If you have multiple children, more than 2, and you need another form, there's another attachment, an FL 105A, that will allow you to put more children on your form. So we only have the 2 children, so we're going to unmark that box. Then we go to page 2. Again, case name at the top. I get a lot of questions about this IRMO. A lot of people say, oh, you misspelled our name, or you made a mistake or whatever. That just stands for in re marriage of. It just means, family law case of, or so the family law case of Doe. Then you'd put the case number over here again, and then we go to number 4. Do you have information about, or have you participated in, as a witness in some other capacity or another case or custody or visitation proceeding in California or elsewhere concerning the child subject to this proceeding, or a child subject to this proceeding? This is very simple. It's just asking, is there any other court cases with regard to these kidders? If there's not, put no. If there is, then you would mark yes, and you would tell the court which kind of case it is. Family law case, guardianship case, other. Is there a juvenile case going on? Is there an adoption case with regard to this child or these children? Then you would mark those. Again, we're going to say, nope, no other cases. Most common answer is nope, there's no other cases with regard to these kids. Okay, so then number 5, it's kind of hidden in here between these boxes. If there is a restraining order with regard to these children in this case, you will want to mark this box, and you're going to need to provide the information in the box below. Is it a criminal law restraining order from the criminal court? Or is it a family law restraining order from the divorce court or family court? Or is there a restraining order from the juvenile court or other? Can't even imagine what the other would be. But if there is, then of course, let's say there was one in the family law case, then you would put the county it was in, say Orange County, California, case number, let's say it was some other, well, let's say it's a divorce case. Let's say it was a 99D 000 whatever, 0000, whatever the case number is. And then when the order expires, let's say it was oops, misspelled orange. You put whatever date the expiration of the restraining order is on, and you can find that on your restraining order paperwork. But on this file, I'm going to take all this out because we're going to say there is no restraining orders in this case. So I'm not going to mark that box because there's no restraining orders in this case. Then we go down to number 6. Do you know of any person who is not a party to this proceeding who has physical custody or claims to have physical custody rights with regard to any child in this case? Let's say, for example, one of the children lives with grandma and grandpa permanently. You would mark yes, and you would put grandma and grandpa's name here, and you'd say they have physical custody. If they actually have custodial rights, like they've gone to court and got court orders, then you would mark this. Or there could be a step parent that claims that there's visitation rights, and you'd mark that there. If there's a second person, you'd put that information here. If there's a third person, you'd put that information in these boxes. Very simple. Then at the bottom, you're going to date it and put your name here. You're going to write your name here. Let's say it's John Doe. You're going to put the date here, whatever date that might be. Don't know what date that is. Okay, and then over here, you would sign it. Now, keep in mind, you are signing this under penalty of perjury, so just make sure everything in here is true and correct before you sign it. And that is the declaration under Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act form. Thank you very much for watching. I also wanted to mention, as I do on all of my forms, if you need assistance in filling out this form or any other form, we do provide a flat rate, a very affordable flat rate to help you fill out a form or all of your forms. So if you need help with that, feel free to look us up online and send us an email, and we'd be happy to get in touch with you and assist you with that. Thank you very much, and have a great day.